Hey fellow beaders, it's JP. So today's tutorial is going to be this gorgeous bracelet that I have made for you guys. This is going to be a fun tutorial. I'm partnering with Doreen beads, and they are a company out of China, and they sent me some beads. And so the beads that I have here in the center with my right angle weave are from Doreen beads, and I'm going to be making some videos that are sponsored by them. So I will have the location of these beads in the description box. So I've used the beads that I'm using are 4mm round glass beads. So here they are right here. Got this big loop of them. And they're kind of a two-tone purple and silvery beads. They're glass, 4mm. In addition, I'm using 11/0 seed beads, and I'm using 3x4 rondelles. Now to make this bracelet, you pretty much can use any bead that you have. You do not need any of these beads that I just mentioned. This is what I've used, so I'm telling you. So for these 4mm rounds, you can use pearls if you've got some glass pearls. You can use bicones, pretty much anything you got. Same thing here with the rondelles. You can again use fire polish, which you can also use fire polish in the center here too. So you can use fire polish for your loops. You can use, again, bicones. You can use, again, pearls. So you want to use maybe a smaller bead. If your larger center beads are 4mm, and these you want to be maybe 3mm or 2mm. It's up to you. You can also use 6/0 beads or 8/0 beads here. It's really just a matter of what you've got and what you're trying to do. So for this bracelet, what I've done is combine two stitches. I've taken a right angle weave and I've taken flat spiral, and I've combined the two to make this bracelet. So I hope you guys like this tutorial. It's not too complicated. I love combining stitches, which is why I did that. And since there's so many videos on your basic flat spiral, oop, there's a plane coming. I've got my windows open, so that's why it's so loud. It's really nice out here today. We're like in the low 80s or high 70s, so just really nice weather here. Anyway, as I was saying, I've combined two stitches. I've combined right angle weave and flat spiral to give you a different way of doing this bracelet. And since there's so many tutorials on doing flat spiral and also doing right angle weave, so I thought, well, why not combine them and give you something a little bit different to try out? So I hope you guys like this, and let's get started. Okay, so to start our bracelet, what you're going to do is pick up 3 of your 4mm round beads on your thread. You're going to need about an arm span of your 6 to 8 pound fireline, and you want to thread both ends of the thread with needles. So you have your 3, and the thread, they should be centered on the thread. Pick up a 4th bead, and you're going to cross the needles into this 4th bead. So what we're doing essentially is 2 needle right angle weave, and hold the needles in one hand and just bring the bead all the way down. And so you should establish a little square like this one. So now what you're going to do is repeat this, and what you're going to do is pick up 1 bead on each needle, and then you're going to pick up another bead and cross the needles into that 1 bead, the 3rd bead, and then just pull down, and you should have a 2nd unit of right angle weave. And this should go fairly quickly for you as you do this, and we've done this before. I've had other videos where I've shown you how to do this 2 needle right angle weave. So let me show you one more time. You want to pick up a bead on each needle, bring them down, then pick up a 3rd bead, and you cross your needles into it. So if this is not a technique you like, then you can always do this with just 1 needle, and if you know how to do your right angle weave, then with 1 needle, that's just as doable also. So you want to make as many units as you need based on your the length of a bracelet that you need. So if you need a 7-inch bracelet, I'd say make at least 6.5 inches. So, and take about 1/2 inch into account for a clasp. So keep going, and then I will show you the next part. So once you've got your units made to the desired length that you need, and I've got about 21 units here. The next step is we're going to make a little loop for our clasp. So I'm going to pick up 7 11-0 seed beads, and I'm just going to use one of my needles, and I'm just going to go through this same bead. So this particular thread is coming out in this upward direction, so I'm going to go back in that same direction. Just like that. And then I'm going to take my other needle just to reinforce. I'm going to go through all of the seed beads. So hopefully you guys can see that. I'm just going through the seed beads from the other needle and then back through my 4mm round where I originally started. So just pull everything nice and snug. Make sure there's no slack in the thread, just like this, and you are all set. I went through one bead too many here, so I'm just going to go back out of that one because this is where I want to be. So this is all set now. Okay, so once you've got your loop established, you are going to work with only one side of the bracelet, so only one needle. So your next step is you're just going to pick up an 11-0 bead, and you're going to go up into this next round bead up here. So you're coming out of this one, you're just going up into one. And that's it, just like that. So very simple. And now what you're going to do is pick up 2 more 11-0 beads and go up into this next bead. Just like this. Then you're going to pick up 4 11-0s, a rondelle, and 4 more 11-0s. Like so. And you are going to go back through this bead on the bottom here, this first one, the 2 11-0s that are in between, and then you're going to come out of this top round bead from where your thread is originally exiting. Just like this. And this is what you should get. Now, pick up 2 more 11-0s, go up into this bead, like so. Then we're going to repeat what we just did. So you're going to pick up 4 11-0s, a rondelle, and 4 more 11-0s. Like so. And now you're going to come down into this bead here, go through the 2 11-0s in between, and then back out our top bead here. Just like so. And this is what you're going to get. And now you're going to pick up 2 more 11-0s and move up into this top bead. And again, we're going to repeat this next part, which is 4 11-0s, a rondelle, and 4 more 11-0s. Then you go down to this round bead, go through the 2 11-0s, and then exit out of the bead from which your thread is exiting. Like so. And there you go. So you're going to do this all the way until you get to the end at the top of your bracelet. All right, and then I'll show you the next step. Okay, fellow beaders, so once you've worked up one side, what you're going to do is you're going to make this loop for the clasp on this other side here. So you're going to be exiting out of your round bead. So you're going to pick up an 11-0, like I have here, and you're just going to go into this next round bead. Just like that. Then you are going to pick up 7 11-0 beads. 5, 6, 7, and you're just going to go back around the round bead. Just like this. and you are going to go through it one more time just to reinforce. So I'm just going through the 11-0 beads, and then I'll go back through my larger 4mm round here. And I'll leave it for now. You can reinforce this a few more times. It's really up to you. So this is what your piece will look like. As you can see, it looks really nice. And what you're going to do is take that other needle that's on the opposite side down here. So this is back down where we started our loops here, the flat spiral loops. So now what you're going to do is pick up one 11-0 and move up into this round bead, just like that, get you set up. And then you're going to do 2 more of your 11-0s and go into the next round bead. That's one above, just like this. And now we start our flat spiral. So I'm just going to flip this so that it's easier to work for me in this direction. And you're going to pick up 4 11-0s, then a rondelle, and then 4 more 11-0s. So, and then we are just going to go down through the round bead, the 2 11-0 beads, and then back out our round bead. Just like this. So, and you want to make sure that your loops are going to be going in sort of the same pattern. So I don't want to have it flipped the wrong way. So as you can see, these loops are on top of the loop before it. So that's what I want to do on this side too, so it looks identical. All right, so now the next step here from before is to go and pick up 2 11-0s and go up into this next round bead. And then pick up 4 11-0s, my rondelle, and then 4 more 11-0s, like so. And I'm going to go through this round, the 2 11-0s that are in between, and then the last round here at the top. Just like this. So now you have, see now this second loop is on top of this loop, and that's what you want to make sure that you're doing. So all you have to do is keep going till the end, and basically tying off your thread is the last part of this. But keep going and I will show you the last steps. Okay, if you've done both sides of your bracelet, then this is what you're gonna get, which I think looks pretty nice. So now to close off our thread. So you're coming out of this bead here after you've made this last loop. So you're just going to finish this off. So you're going to pick up an 11-0 and you're going to go through this next bead here. Now you can reinforce your loop and go through all of these beads. I've already done this with the thread from the other side, so I have a feeling I might not be able to get through all these beads, but let's try it. So I'm just going to go through all of these to just reinforce my loop. It's always a good idea to do some of this 3 or 4 times. So now, once I've done this, I'm going to go through the big large bead here. And then I'm going to go down into this next bead. And I'm going to make a 1/2 inch knot. And what you want to do is just do that between the threads here, between these 2 large round beads. Just like this. And go through this next bead, push the knot away. And it might be a good idea to flip to the back side. If you want to call it a back side, it's not really a back side, but it's a little bit easier to kind of get around these 11O beads here. So I'm just, my thread is there. Now go through this next bead here, and you're going to make another half-inch knot. I'm trying to avoid the 11O, which is still getting in the way. So like I said, it's not really a backside. There we go. So, and then you just make another half-inch knot between the thread bridge. There we go. And like so. But you get the idea. You're making the knots with the big beads. So that way the knots are hidden away in the big beads. And then you just weave your thread away. So I'm just going to go into this next bead and maybe one more bead here and then just cut off. So you can do a total of 3 knots. I only did 2, but just for the sake of the video. Okay, so there it is. Basically the bracelet is finished. All you're going to need to do is add some jump rings and we will be done. So I'm going to add my jump ring here, feed it through the loop, feed my clasp through the loop, and then do this on the opposite side. And voila, your bracelet is done. I have this thread that I added, so I need to tie that off, but actually I'll go ahead and cut it because it's already been tied off. So there you have it, guys. What do you think? So it's a little flat spiral with a twist. So I hope you guys like that. I think it looks awesome. So I combined right angle weave with flat spiral. All right, well, I'll see you guys on the next tutorial.